are able to say these ridiculous things because there's no burden of performance on you guys. For example, what you guys just said, my ambition, my holding my own, great career, loving myself, etc. These random things, that's equivalent to if a girl asked me, what do you think women want? And I said, well, I think they would want me to get a manicure every week, wear designer shoes all the time, maybe have a handbag, be dressed on fleek. Doesn't that sound kind of ridiculous? Because these aren't things that women look for in a man, a pretty man. That's maybe a bonus, but women don't necessarily care about my ability to dress and my manicures and all these stupid things because it doesn't benefit them, correct? Does my manicure benefit you?
I think it depends.
Hold on. Does my manicure benefit you?
I think it depends. If a guy doesn't look good and doesn't take, if a guy is not taking good care of himself and good hygiene,
on me.
100% it reflects on me.
But it is not a deal breaker to the same degree.
It's a deal breaker.
It's
100%.
not a deal breaker to the same degree as if I was a complete bum that had zero ambition, living in my mom's basement. But if I was, let's say, a successful guy that had my money together, I went to the gym, etc., but my nails, I bit them, you would probably make an exception because I'm doing everything else so well.
Absolutely not.
Oh, you're that picky?
I am that picky because if you don't take care of yourself and the importance of your hygiene is not
Why are you biting your nails?
My nails are bitten.
If it's
deeper than that. You're biting your nails because something else is wrong.
Can I say
something? Yo, at the end of the day, when you're in a club where you're at, that shit don't matter, bro.
Exactly.
I'm telling you right now. You're saying that right now on camera, but in the heat of the moment,
but
it
I've
don't
been
matter.
in club situations where girls came up like, oh, you know what I'm saying, on some sloppy shit, and niggas been like, no, like,
but that's like something that's very obvious. Like
the points is flying over your ladies' heads. I'm simply saying, you brought up a bunch of irrelevant things that men don't care about. So what I'm saying is that if I was a man and I had a bunch of things that women didn't care about, like my manicures, my ability to dress well, being a metrosexual, like these are things that women are like, okay, that's cool, but it doesn't really benefit me. You know, that's how men feel about the things that you guys mentioned. Holding my own, being confident. I'm going to give 100%. Like these are fairly masculine tendencies that men don't care about.
Okay, so what do men care about?
Not being a hoe. Okay. Following my lead, being not a pain in the ass, being quiet, not embarrassing me in front of my friends.
But she said all of these things, and we all agree that that's
right. Why?
No one said
she said
Why
that.
are you knocking having a
no
everybody
stuff like no one ever
Not
pointed
one of
what I
you
said.
mentioned anything about. She's the only one that even claimed close to it. Not one of you mentioned anything about being a good girlfriend. I'm not promiscuous. I'm just for him. I'm exclusive. All of you guys mentioned things about your own personal accolades, which is great. I'm not knocking y'all for having them, but I'm saying men don't care about that.
For example, when I
the high value men that we're talking about.
When I step out with,
I'm just saying you guys are going based off of little brief descriptions of what they gave of
men
themselves,
are so
and then we all
simple that
mutually
it's hard for
agreed.
women
Like,
to
of course,
understand.
that's just simple things, though. That's simple things. As a woman, you should hold yourself with that value and respect.
So
of course,
what did
you're
you
only
say
for
in the
that
first
man.
place then?
Because I don't know what men want. I'm
So what are you
just
arguing?
Men are
So-
so simple that it's complicated for us women to understand because we're so complex as to why men have to be like, let me figure out this woman so that I could be with her. Or let me figure out this woman so I can go out on a date with her. Like, for example, I step out with my man and the only thing I know what to do is shut the fuck up until I'm fucking spoken to. Like, I went out with him, like, it was in Arizona. We were in Tempe, Arizona. His whole like team had like a section or whatever. He was like, babe, do you want to go out to the club? I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm not spoken to. I don't speak to anybody until somebody speaks to me because I don't know these niggas. I don't know them. Like, what am I speaking to you for? I'm here with my man. I'm not here with y'all. I'm not a groupie bitch that's there. Like, you know, as a female, especially as my man's woman, my duty as his woman is to shut up until I am spoken to. And even if I am spoken to by one of his teammates, you keep it short and sweet.
And that's what I think she meant when she says that she holds herself with confidence and high value.
That's not even me holding myself with confidence or high value. That's just me having a sense of like just being a fucking woman.
That's what exactly my point. Yeah.
Like,
are you her attorney? Apparently, you know what she's thinking.
No, I just feel like y'all took what she said like left field. So I was just
Left field.
Cool. What out of left field? I'm confused.
Of how she gave like little brief, little stupid
Who in particular?
answers. This one right here.
Her?
Yeah.
Aaron.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's quite literally
Well-
what I mean. It's pretty clear what she said.
Yeah.
I didn't take it out of context.
I put
Fine.
some like extra information to that after the fact though, because at the end of the day, you still have to be feminine. You still have
Now you
to.
mention that.
Oh, yeah.
I already mentioned that.
Like,
But that's
When
just
I
the
asked
second.
you,
how
once
it
again,
should
that's
be.
why I wrote
Yes,
myself
no,
down.
you're right. But the
Hold
second,
my own, great career, friends, and confidence. That's literally what you said.
and then when we,
And isn't
and then
her
when I
holding her own?
elaborated, I also mentioned, yeah, you cook, you clean, you take care of your man, you bring him like, You have a good meal for him when he gets home from work.
But you didn't elaborate until I actually asked you, do you think high value men want this in return? And then you thought and you said, okay, maybe not actually.
And then I said, what's tangible?
But I elaborate.
No, I said, hey, what's tangible about that? You said, tangible.
But before anybody mentioned it, I did mention that I do think that that's important as well. But I think to have the full package and to really like, at least for what I'm looking for, I want a man that has the full package. So why wouldn't I return that to him in return? I'm not just going to be a dumb little girl that sits on the sidelines.
You don't have to
I know that I have the full package. And you can, I can still, no, I know nobody said that, but, and I know that that's not necessarily what men look for, but if you can also offer the feminine side to a man and you can be a good mother and you can be a good partner, wife, or whatever you want to call it.
These traits you led with are not feminine though.
And loyal and cook and clean.
But the traits you mentioned and led with are not feminine.
So what?
But I'm not. But I never said that I didn't think that you had to have all of that as well. I didn't lead with it, but I do think you have to have the full package.
And the fact that you didn't lead with it is very telling because those are probably not your strongest traits. Here's the thing about human nature. Okay, talked with thousands of people throughout my life. Okay, criminals, women, etc. When you ask people questions, a lot of the times, right, and they give you an honest answer, they don't even got to think about it. It's kind of a reflex. Okay, this is my answer. And then you hit them with maybe a fact, and then they might change their answer based on that fact. So what I'm saying, right, and I kind of know this already from looking at your education and your background, whatever it may be, that you're probably a successful female, making a good amount of money in your regard. So you led with your accolades, which is cool. I'm not knocking you for it. But the fact that you led with your accolades is very telling that the other things that we mentioned, the more feminine qualities that you have, probably aren't as refined as the masculine qualities you mentioned.
That's not true. You don't know me. And you don't know like what I have to offer from that sense.
But here's the thing. I know that how career women think, educated women think in general, and the numbers don't lie.
But you're putting her in a category.
Let me finish my point. The higher educated a woman, the more in the professional world she is, the higher earnings she is, the likelihood of divorce in a marriage go up precipitously, around 90%. This is a fact. This is not my opinion. Career women chronically end relationships. Hell, you ended yours just before coming here.
Fair.
Chronically end relationships because they need a man to meet their same level of ambition.
Fair. That is so accurate.
How did I predict that without knowing you?
You can't. But the thing, look,
because I know what I'm talking about.
But call my ex and tell me that he didn't have dinner on the table every single goddamn night for him, because I can guarantee you one thing, he did. And
he
the
had
thing
dinner for you?
No,
dinner
for him. Yes.
Okay. So what does that?
No, nothing. I mean, but we're talking about feminine qualities now. I didn't lead with it, but my point is that you still have to do all of those things as well, and I do agree with that.
So
I just didn't lead with it. Then? But that's my point. I don't need to keep going on. If you'd like, I could stop.
Wait, so questions. Why did you break up with your ex then?
He was putting her in danger, and
Okay, that's not true. No. No, we
You grew apart.
We grew apart. Yeah, like I said, we're
City boys be up?
we're still on good terms. We're still friends. We were together for 4 years, and we lived together for 3, and it just didn't work out, to keep it light. There's a lot of things from. It was a lot of different things, I guess, just to keep it light. We got together when I was younger, and now my mindset has changed on what I'm looking for, and I guess that's kind of where I'm at.
So I have
they grew
but
apart.
I still have a lot of love for him in my heart. It's not that I don't care about him. It's just it didn't work out, and that's fine.
Translation: I lapped him in certain aspects of life that I prioritized that he no longer prioritized at the beginning of the relationship, and I don't see a future with him because my future is brighter than what he can offer.
Boom.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Girls typically don't break up. Girls typically break up with a guy when they don't want to bet on their future anymore. Is what it is. Good.
She asked.
Which is not wrong with that. I think guys got to stay on point and get their shit together. But let's be honest here. When women break up with men, it's far different than when men break up with women. And a lot of times women break up with a man because his future isn't bright versus a man will break up with a girl because their past is dark.
I would argue most women don't even realize that, like, most men don't break up with women.
They don't?
Yeah.
Sorry, you were trying to say something?
You asked like what are feminine you asked what are feminine qualities. I remember you asking him, like you mentioned
what he defines it
so
as.
For example, like I can genuinely say like I am educated, I am hardworking, like I can to be honest, I can sit here and be like, I don't need a man for shit. I don't need a man for nothing. But at the end of the day, there are certain roles of a man and certain roles of a woman. So it's like I have a man in my life. So when I say like when he says like feminine qualities, or even I can agree on what feminine qualities are, it's just like just being there for your man simply as a woman. At the end of the day, like he's not with his mom anymore. He don't live with his mama no more. So like there's nobody there to cook, to clean, to do laundry, to make sure he's straight, to make sure that, you know, he has support. He can call his mom always, but he lives with somebody else now. So it's like taking up for what, I mean, I'm Jamaican, and I mean, in a Caribbean like household, like we have to take up of what the mom used to do, if that makes sense. Like not on like no mommy issues type shit, but just like, let me just make sure he's good, because like he never really had to do what, you know, like he never, when the fuck does he ever, my nigga don't even know how to do laundry.
So I'll tell you this, I think like I keep saying, it really depends on the situation. Because if you're with a man that, you know, the mother is used to doing everything for him from A to Z, and he expects that of you, even though you both contribute 100% to the relationship. Again, it's situational. I think it really depends.
Do you want a man that will let you live your like quote unquote alpha woman life?
Absolutely not. Like I said, I want 100% from both sides. So not only do I want to be alpha, but I would like for him to be alpha as well.
See me, I don't want to be an alpha woman.
For his person.
So how about if I
want
told
to be
you?
an alpha mom, make sure my kids are 100% great
but
to
like
go.
being a mom, like it's not even being an alpha mom. That's just being a mom. Like being a dad and being a mom is two completely different things. Like,
well, that's why I'm saying 100% from each side. I'm not saying 50-50. 50-50 would be different. 100% would be they're each person and they're bringing their best to the table.
There's no such thing as an alpha woman. An alpha woman is simply a masculine female, which the reality is men don't want to date themselves. So alpha women, a lot of times what'll happen is you'll meet a guy, you'll have these qualities of being fairly masculine, competitive, making a lot of money, and then the guy will be like, okay, I'm just gonna have sex with this girl and not take her seriously because she's annoying. Because men don't want to have a girlfriend that behaves like themselves.
So what about a woman that has to raise her kids on her own without a man? Is she not an alpha woman?
Well, I mean, that's kind of her fault.
She's a single mom.
Yeah.
She
is
should
it
have
her
stuck it out.
fault? Or is it if he like cheated?
Who controls who has sex?
Both.
Not
That's
really.
why I keep saying 100%.
Not really. The woman controls who has sex.
Okay.
The man does not. So if a woman lays with a man and has sex with him unprotected and has children, she's effectively decided.
I'm talking about like they got married, they had children, and the guy decided to cheat. So now everything falls on the woman because technically it's her kid, right?
I mean, is she going to divorce him for infidelity?
I would.
I think that's a bad idea.
Well, that's your opinion. This is my opinion.
I mean, I grew up with a single mother. Like my dad was in jail my whole life, so
I'm sure your mom is an alpha woman because she had to handle everything on her own.
That's different.
I mean, that doesn't refute my argument that I think that it's not